Hi, everybody. It's Craig and Indian Cowboy back with your Tuesday MLB card. We're going to cover every Major League Baseball game, give you the odds, the betting pick, how you should play it, everything you need to know for Tuesday. And it is, believe this or not, I see a July 1st, Tuesday, July 1st. And don't forget, if you haven't done so, make sure you get over and check out our free $60 account. Go DocSports.com/free60. That's where you can check out our best stuff. Both Indian Cowboy or myself, or any of the other cappers over there, you can get in on that. Use that. Also, while we're at it, we have to mention our Premium and Premium Plus. It is a YouTube only product. So all you do is click the link in the description. You get in. We have two levels. Level 1 is Indian Cowboy. That's $19.99 a month. You have to purchase on the desktop site to get that price, but you can click the link below to get in. Then we have a level 2. It includes Indian Cowboy. Plus, you pay an extra $30. You get 3 Premium Plus plays every day. These are direct plays from our 12-plus cappers over at Doc Sports. So make sure you get on one of those. Tell them exactly what they'll get in level 1, then I'll break down level 2.
Yeah, I mean, for level 1, you get an extra video every single day. And I do a video every single day. I try to. And it ranges from about 4 extra selections every single day. But the YouTube Premium is awesome because you get an extra video every single day. And it's double the content. We go in depth on ball games. You get the total of the day. So between the premium selections over at Doc Sports, and then your daily free play video, which has 4 selections, and then your YouTube Premium video, which has 4 more, and we grade those selections too. And I think my total of the day is on like a 15-9 run. It's something great to add to your portfolio. Our best selections over at DocSports.com. Our next best selections, for me, it's my YouTube Premium, and my final best selections are the free picks and leads. So with that, you get the full gambit, and for $20 a month, you get over 100 selections per month, which is definitely worth it. And you get a double dose of me, which is awesome. And of course, if you're really smart, you would get the Docs Premium Plus, which is basically you get 3 handicappers or 3 premium selections from handicappers. Each one is $30 a pop. So you're getting $90 worth of value every single day for just $50 a month, right? So you're getting, 90 times, 30, you're getting $2,700 worth of picks. These are premium picks, all for just $50 a month. And that same package also has mine as well. So my extra channel as well. So it's an unbelievable opportunity.
Yeah, for $49.99 a month, you can't beat it. Like I said, click that link and make sure you do it on a desktop to get that that $49.99 price. If you do it on your phone and you're using, which most people are, either Google or Apple, they charge an upcharge to YouTube and they pass that fee on to you. We don't get any extra, so we'd rather you save the money. So make sure you buy on a desktop. It renews every month. You can cancel at any time. So once you get on that price, you're locked in. So make sure you take advantage of it. And come football season, probably going to add some special stuff. Both in that Premium Plus level, so make sure you get in on it. Okay, we're going to cover every baseball game for today, and we've got a good one starting off in the AL here. We got the Yankees and the Blue Jays. Don't look now, the Blue Jays are only a few games back of this Yankees team. 2 games back? Yankees favored by -162 with Fried on the mound tonight and a total 8. What do you like here? I see.
Yeah, it's a fascinating game. I have to give the Yankees and the Blue Jays credit. They always make things interesting, it seems. But the Yankees, obviously, they come off that 4-5 loss today. The Blue Jays are trying to make as much ground as they possibly can. The Blue Jays, of course, they've been playing relatively well. They did take 2 or 3 from Boston. They've taken 2 or 3 from Cleveland. They've been sniping off these games. And coming off that 5-4 win against the Yankees, of course, is huge. And the Blue Jays did out-hit them, 10-7. They had that big 6th inning. But, you can expect the Yankees to possibly bounce back here. You have Max Fried on the mound today. The only problem with that is that Fried went 7 innings, 4 hits, and no runs in his last game. And I usually like going against pitchers that come off like a shutout performance. He also went against Toronto early this year, and he went 6 innings, 5 hits, and no runs, and he dominated them. So, but he's having a phenomenal year too. And then you combine the fact with Gausman, who rolls in here, and has he pitched against the Yankees? He has not pitched against the Yankees this year. And in his last effort, he had 8 innings, 2 hits, and no runs against Cleveland. He was phenomenal too. So both these guys come off games in which they were pitching, shutout performances. And yet you see the total at 8. I mean, wouldn't you have been surprised? Like, I wouldn't have been surprised at all if this line came out at a 7 even, but the line comes out at 8. I actually think this game goes over the posted total for a couple of reasons. One, I think Toronto can be an active dog. And 2, I think both these guys can have letdowns. And the other thing is you have the Yankees, because Toronto's trying to make up ground so they can be an active dog. But at the same time, the Yankees come off a loss, so they could step up too. I might even make this my YouTube premium total of the day tomorrow, but I like the over between these two teams. All right, you get the San Diego Padres here rolling against the Phillies on the road with Pivetta and Sanchez on the mound on a total of, I think, 8.5. Padres, of course, come off that 0-4 loss and have lost back-to-back games. Who do you like?
Yeah, to me, it's about value in this game. Where are you comfortable with playing the Phillies? The Phillies are a deserving favorite here. They're playing great baseball. They had that little lull. They really had that lull of about 10, 12 games. I think they were like 1-11 or 2-10 in that stretch. Since then, if you take that out, just been the best team in baseball, especially in the National League. And that's better than the Dodgers. If you look at the numbers, the Dodgers kind of had a little lull as well. It's just this not been straight in a row. It's been more like over a 15-20 game where they played just a little over 500. I like Sanchez has been great this year. I mean, I don't think 2.81 is where he'll finish this year because I think he's more like a mid-3 ERA. So there'll be a little regression at some point this year, but I don't think it's going to be against this team. This San Diego team, I saw them Friday night in Cincinnati. They almost got no hit by their former player. They don't have a lot of depth. Machado isn't what he once was, and Tatis since the suspension hasn't had that big power numbers. Let's take the Phillies here. I'm going to lay the 1.5 here because I think Phillies, when they win, they seem to win at a pretty big margin, including yesterday. I was kind of thinking like 4-1, 5-1, 5-2 type games. I think we'll get you get a little plus money or minus 102. I mean, it's out there. Search it around. Let's lay the run line with the Philadelphia Phillies. All right, I see. We go to one. I mean, I hate this. The Pirates fans probably are going to hate me, but the Pirates are playing good baseball. I hate to jinx them, but they swept the Mets. They win yesterday to start this series. Now they got their ace Skeens on the mound, minus 163, total 7. Can the Pirates keep it going here?
I think they can because St. Louis is a funny team. When they roll, they really roll. But so St. Louis has won, 3 of their last 6 games. They're 3-3, right? But the 3 games they lost, they didn't score a run. So, I mean, this is a team that can either do well or they can just do terribly, it seems. But they do come out that 0-7 loss, and yet they come into this game as a solid dog. And then you have the Pirates here who roll in here. Who I think first of all, it's great for Pittsburgh that they're actually playing pretty well right now. They have won 4 in a row, and anything can happen. I mean, my Braves made a run at one point, So you have a team here that's won 3 in a row, and their offense has been just nothing but phenomenal. I mean, they had 9-9, 12-7 the last few games. So then you have Palante and Skeens here. Palante, has he faced Pittsburgh this year? He has not. He went 5 innings, 7 hits, and 2 runs against the Cubs. He comes off of a loss. He went 6 innings, 3 hits, no runs against the Reds. Do we see him, putting together 3 straight quality starts? I don't think so. I actually think Pittsburgh has something positive going on here. Skeens, at the end of the day, has he pitched against St. Louis? He did. He went 6 innings, 6 hits, and 5 runs, and he got rocked his last time out against them. And he got rocked against Milwaukee, right? 4 innings, 4 hits, and 4 runs as well. So I think it makes sense for him to bounce back. This is a guy that dominated the Tigers, 6 innings, 3 hits, and 2 runs. Pitched well against the Cubs at Wrigley, 5 innings, 4 hits, and no runs. Against the Phillies, went 7 innings, 2 hits, and no runs. He was phenomenal there. So I think the Pirates are the only way to go, even though the Cardinals come off of a loss. As far as Minnesota, Miami are concerned, you get Minnesota rolls in here, comes off of that. I don't think they played yesterday, or I should say today. It's a team that they had their series against the Tigers, coming off back-to-back losses against Detroit, 4 games under 500. Miami rolls into this game not playing that bad. I mean, Jesus Christ, they swept Arizona, they swept San Francisco. Who do you like?
7 in a row. Like, if you would have said, I mean, like, what odds would you give that this team is going to win 7 in a row? All on the road, too. Like, this team's just playing good baseball. They're doing it with, like, quality pitching, timely hitting. This is like, I always say, this is how the Marlins, when they won the championship back before they broke it up with Wayne Huizinga and all those guys, like, this is how they did it. They didn't go out and they had the biggest names, and they would do it with young guys, and then they'd trade those guys away. And it's kind of like the Rays do now. I don't know if it's sustainable long-term, but man, it's hard to bet a team like, especially since the Twins are just 3-7 in their last 10 games. You're going to give me plus 120 on a team that's won 7 in a row. I think you take the Marlins here. I kind of like them first 5 innings as well. I would take the Marlins again. I know people are saying, hey, when's the shoe going to drop? Hey, we've seen it. You said you're Braves. We've seen it. Like last year, the Tigers were way down. They had that big run to come back and make the playoffs. Teams that, these young teams can kind of get it going. They have it going right now. Let's continue to ride the Marlins at the big underdog price. plus 120. All right, I see we have the best team in the league right now is the Detroit Tigers. That you can thank me, Detroit Lenny. Detroit Tigers favorite minus 160, total 9.5 against a Washington team that at least has found they continue to fight. They're 5-5 in their last game, just like this Tigers team. What do you like here?
I'm sure Lenny's happy, which is good. But Detroit comes in here with Flaherty and Williams hooking up here. And Detroit, obviously, they come off that nice 3-0 and 10-5 win over the Twins, winning 2 of 3. And they've won a lot of series lately, and that's the reason why they've done well. Outside the Reds series, they pretty much won quite a bit of series. They've only lost 2 series since the beginning of May. When you go in 2 months only losing 2 series, that's pretty darn good. And the Tigers are 53-32 right now, coming off back-to-back wins. They're facing Washington here, who comes off that nice win against the Angels. And taking 2 of 3 from the Angels is still pretty darn good. And Flaherty rolls in here, and has he faced against Washington this year? He has not, from what I can tell. And he went 6 innings, 5 hits, and 3 runs in his last game against the A's, and he lost. And he went 2 innings, 6 hits, 8 runs against Tampa Bay, and he lost. And 4 innings, 5 hits, 7 runs against Cincinnati, and he lost. So he comes off 3 straight losses. So if anybody's going to be motivated, it should be Flaherty rolling in here. And then you have Williams here who rolls in here. He obviously has not pitched against Detroit this year. He went 5 innings, 7 hits, and 4 runs against the Padres. He comes off of a loss, too, and then 5 innings, 8 hits, 2 runs against Colorado when he did win that game. The thing with him is, though, he's been averaging well over a hit per inning over his last, 4 innings and 5 hits, and 4 innings and 6 hits, and 5 innings and 6 hits, and 5 innings and 8 hits, and 5 innings and 7 hits, and so on and so forth. So at least 5 straight starts of at least 1 hit per inning. And given how badly Flaherty needs to bounce back as well, I like both the Tigers and I like the over here as well. So as far as the Athletics, as they hook up against the Tampa Bay Rays, the Athletics, of course, come off a nice win against Tampa Bay, winning 6-4 as a solid plus 160 dog. Tampa Bay comes into this game now having lost back-to-back games. They haven't lost 3 in a row. By the way, you got to go all the way back to late April before they lost 3 in a row. With Springs and Baz on the mound, who do you like?
Yeah, I think Baz is better than his ERA. Like when you start to look at, as a handicapper, you start to look at different things that kind of like point you in directions. And you see Baz, you see like middling ERA, like in the 4s. Like, is he better than that 4, or is he worse? And I think he's better. In fact, I think he's a low 4, 3, high 3 ERA type guy. So I think he's going to start to find his way. And against an Athletics team that can struggle to score runs and has in their last 10 games. I think you take Baz, you lay the minus half a run, and you take him in the first 5 innings. I like this pitching matchup. I think the Rays will bounce back early. I kind of worry about that Rays bullpen. They kind of get used up a lot. And bullpens in general get used up a lot in baseball, especially this time of year where it's hot, it's humid. You get to guys 5th inning, and all of a sudden sometimes 4th, and now you got to extend it. Well, let's take the Rays in the first 5 innings on the run line, minus a half of a run. Now, my Reds been hot, I see. In fact, one of those series wins for Detroit or losses was to my Cincinnati Reds. Beat them 2 of 3. Cincinnati they beat the Yankees in a series. They beat the Padres in a series. They lose yesterday with their young starter yesterday. He got banged up, but that was against Crochet, and like they even got to Crochet. It's just their bullpen kind of didn't give them a chance in this one. Now the Reds bounce back here, maybe. You see the line, minus 115, telling you this is a pretty active, even game, total 10. What do you like here?
Well, I'm happy for your Reds. And, the Reds, 3 games above 500. They come off that 6-13 loss against Boston. Boston was actually my free play today. So they come off that 6-13 loss to them. And, this is an opportunity for them to sort of bounce back here. You have Boston here, who comes off the 13-6 and then a 15-1 run or 15-1 win last 2 of 3 games. But prior to that, they had a series of losses, which was ugly. The Reds are a feisty team with Singer and Fitz here, and Boston doesn't have that bravado that they used to have at Fenway. I like this Reds team a lot, dude. You have Singer here, who went 5 innings, 6 hits, and 4 runs against the Yankees. He already lost to the Yankees. I don't think he wants to lose to the Red Sox, too. He went 6-4-1 against the Cards. He lost to them, too. He went 6-4-1 against the Tigers. He went, 5-5-2 against Arizona and so on. He's a very good pitcher. And as far as home runs, he just doesn't yield a lot of home runs either. So there's a lot to like here with Singer. And, of course, he's a pitcher that came over from the Royals. And he's had a lot of experience against the AL as well. Yeah, Fitz, who rolls in here, and Fitz is obviously a second-year pitcher. He comes into this game having pitched relatively well against the Angels. I mean, 4 innings, 4 hits, and 2 runs. He's kind of a relief pitcher. He did go 5 innings, 2 hits, no runs against the White Sox, but I think this will be a tough spot for him here. He also gave up 2 home runs in his last start. And I think this is a spot for the veteran and for Cincinnati to bounce back here. I'm going to back the Reds here. As far as the Brewers hooking up against the Mets here, we have Peralta and Holmes on a total of 8.5. Milwaukee, of course, comes into this game losing to the Rockies, the minus 242 favorite, but they had won 4 in a row before that. They had swept the Twins as well. They're playing pretty good baseball right now. You have the Mets here who got swept by the Pirates. Ouch, and they finally got over their hump over the Braves and took 2 of 4 from them in the last third and fourth game. So you have a Brewers team that's off of a loss and a Mets team that's off of a loss with Peralta and Holmes. Who do you like?
Yeah, I love the Brewers in this one, plus 105. I think they have the starting pitching edge. The offense has been pretty good. Hot team, 8-2. The Mets, like you said, you lose. Now, granted, the Pirates are playing much better baseball, so you have to at least give them a little bit of a pass. But to get swept, I could see losing the series, but get swept. And I believe they've lost. Yeah, they're just 3-7 in the last 10 games. I'm not saying sound the alarms, but this offense has not been that great this year. They've done it with pitching. Now the pitching's starting to falter a little bit. Can the offense save them? I don't think so. I'm going to take the Brewers here. I didn't think the Brewers are going to be this good, but I mean, they're 10 games above 500, and I don't think I'm slowing down. They're even on the road. I think they get the win here, plus 105. Thank you for the plus money. All right, I see next game you're looking at is the Angels and your Braves. I don't know how we do it. You get the Braves every time. Braves minus 160 total, 9.5. An Angels team that I know Ron Washington, if you guys don't know, is out for the season with some complications, health complications. So, but this Angels team has not given up they're a 500 team, which no one thought so. What do you like here, IC?
Yeah, it's kind of sad about Washington's health concerns because obviously he played a huge role in the Braves rebuild and stuff. And, a lot of Braves fans have a lot of fond feelings for Ron Washington. You have the Angels here rolling in here, losing 4-7 against Washington. But he's really, honestly, I think he could be manager of the year. That team has nobody. And he's just coached the heck out of them. He's just a really good coach. So the Angels do come off a loss here. Bravo's here. You thought the Braves were going to do well. They're going to get to 500. They're playing so well, and they're still 7 games under 500. They come off of losing 1-2 to the Phillies. But they obviously have both teams off of a loss, and the total's at 9.5, which seems pretty high. And then you have Anderson and Fuentes here. Anderson rolls in here. Going 4 innings and 2 hits and 1 run against Boston his last start. But he hasn't put together back-to-back starts. Maybe, you have to go back to late April before he did that. So I kind of like the fact that he might have a letdown here. And keep in mind that he hasn't gone, his previous starts against the Yankees at Baltimore, he struggled in both those games, 6 innings, 4 runs, and 5 innings and 6 runs. So I think he is probably in for a letdown here. I still trust the Braves a little bit more. That's a lot of juice, though, on Fuentes, especially for a first-year pitcher. But, he went 3 innings, 8 hits, and 6 runs against the Mets, and he struggled. In his first start, he went 5 innings and 6 hits and 4 runs. So it's very interesting here that you have a pitcher that has an 11.25 ERA that's laying minus 160. And guess what? I'm taking the 11.25 ERA pitcher because I think Fuentes knows that if he doesn't pitch well, the Braves have a lot of talent in that pipeline, and then someone might be taking his spot. So I'm going to back Fuentes and the Braves here. Angels are a good team, but I don't trust Anderson at all to come through with a quality game here. So I'm going to back the Bravos. All right, Baltimore hooking up against Texas here. Baltimore is 10 games under 500. That's the team that we always chuckle because they're always favored, and yet they always lose. And Baltimore did win back-to-back games, winning 10-6 against Texas recently. Texas rolls in having lost back-to-back games. They're only 3 games under 500, so they're trying to make it a run here. You have Young and DeGrom here on a surprising total of 7. What do you like?
Yeah, nice extra inning win yesterday by Baltimore. This is a team that they haven't given up hope, which you have to say a team they could have easily thrown in the towel because they were, 15 back or 12 back of the Yankees just a few weeks ago. Now the Yankees have kind of come back to them a little bit. Baltimore's been playing a little 500 or a little above. So they're going to need to do something special because I don't think the Blue Jays are going anywhere. I don't think the Rays are going anywhere. And I don't think the Yankees are going anywhere. Now I don't think Boston is going to make any moves. So can they overcome 3 teams in your same division? I think probably not. But I kind of think you have to take a swing at them. These 2 teams, DeGrom just faced off not too long ago. DeGrom actually, I think was his last start. They beat him 7-0. And I think everybody in the world is going to be on Texas. And so I'm going to take the plus money here, the plus 1.5, actually, sorry. The plus 1.5, you get it at basically even money. Maybe you have to lay minus 105 juice here. I don't think DeGrom is still. I basically put him in the Cy Young race because I'm like, I don't think he's going to have that great a year. And every time he pitches, I keep waiting for the shoe to drop, and it hasn't. He's been great this year. You have to give him his props. But I'm going to take the plus 1.5. I think everybody in their brothers can go Texas.
That's really sharp because you get 21% of the run total before it starts. 1.5 divided by 7. That's a sharp play.
I mean, I just think it's going to be low scoring. Like if you think Texas is only going to get probably 4 runs, 3-4 runs, can Baltimore get 2? Look what they've been doing lately. They've won 3 of their last 4 games. Give me Baltimore, and you take that plus 1.5. All right, I see next game we got the Guardians. Kind of been struggling, just 3-7 in their last 10 games. Cubs just 4-6 in their last 10 games, even though the Cubs are still 14 games above 500. The way the Brewers are playing, they better start getting it right. Cubs minus 170, total 8.5. Is this a live underdog spot for the Guardians, maybe?
Well, I mean, Cleveland obviously have lost 4 in a row now, and they looked ugly. I mean, 3 of those losses were no runs. So that's just not good baseball. And they only won 1 of 3 from Toronto, and they took 2 of 3 from the A's. They really haven't played good baseball over the last 10 days. And then you have the Cubs rolling in here, who also come off a loss to Houston 0-2, but they've been playing a little bit better. But they at the end of the day, they have a lot more room for error with 14 games above 500. You have Williams and Boyd here. Of course, everybody's on the Cubs here, only 26% back in Cleveland here. You have a pitcher here that has not pitched against the Cubs in Williams. 5 innings, 5 hits, and 3 runs against Toronto. Not bad. 6 innings, 2 hits, and no runs against the Giants. That's excellent. 4-6-2 against Seattle and 6-5-3 against Houston. He's not a bad pitcher. You have a pitcher here that had a 3.68 ERA and a 4.86 ERA last year. But can he step up? The Cubs are heavily favored here with Boyd, who has a 2.65 ERA. And guess who Boyd pitched for last year? Cleveland. So he gets to face his former team. He's going to get up to face his former team. Obviously, he went 5 innings, 2 hits, and 2 runs against Seattle, and he lost last game. But he did go 6-1-1 against Pittsburgh, and he did go 6-8-1 against Philadelphia, and so on. I like the fact that he comes off of a loss. And I like the fact that the Cubs come off of a loss as well. No runs in their last game and losing the last series too. And, I know, and I like the fact that Williams comes off of a win. I think the Cubs are the way to go. And honestly, Cubs run line might not be a bad idea here. I like the Cubs or the Cubs run line. I mean, I laid the juice today with Boston, and it worked out, 13-6. So this could be one of those games where you might just have to lay it. But Houston and Colorado hooking up here. Speaking of things, do you want to lay? Houston won 2-0 against the Cubs in their last game, and obviously they're playing good baseball. They've won 6 of their last 7, including sweeping the mighty Phillies. And then the Rockies rolling in here, winning against Milwaukee 4-3 as a plus 217 dog. They broke a 5-game losing streak. So both these teams are off of a win, and you have a Gordon and Dollander here. Gordon with a 4.05 ERA, and Dollander here with I think he has a 6 ERA. Could be wrong. Yeah, 6 ERA. Well, who do you like?
I'm gonna make it very simple and sweet. Lay the run line every day against the Rockies. If you've done that, usually when you play against the worst teams, you do that, you actually won't make a profit long term. It's been very profitable this year because the Rockies are not only getting beat, they're getting hammered. And I can't believe this is not more, like you said, Houston been playing great baseball, especially at home. If it was at home, they'd probably be a minus 250, minus 290 favorite. I don't think it matters. Lay the run line with Houston. You get it like basically even money or like minus 105. Don't overthink it. Houston minus 1.5. All right, I see Giants and the Diamondbacks. Diamondbacks got the win as a slight underdog today. Gallen on the mound tonight against Birdsong. The Diamondbacks favorite minus 130, total 9. Giants lost, I think, twice, right? I think they lost twice to the Griffins White Sox this weekend. Struggling right now. What do you think in this one?
Yeah, I mean, Arizona's a funny team. They had lost 4 in a row, but they just ran into a good Marlins team. I can't believe I'm saying that. The Marlins are just playing hot, and they had lost 4 in a row. They finally turned around and won here. You have Birdsong and Gallen here. Birdsong is went 4 innings and 4 hits and 7 runs, which is kind of rare to give up 4 hits but give up 7 runs. And he gave up 4 walks and 2 home runs, which is why. And then he gave up 4 innings, 7 hits, and 4 runs to the Red Sox as well. He's lost his last 3 starts. He did have a good start against Miami. He's really struggled. Has he pitched against Arizona this year? He has. He went 3 innings, 4 hits, 3 runs, and he lost that game. as well. I just hate going against a guy over and over and over again, going back to the well. And then you have Gallen here who rolls in. Gallen he had pitched against San Francisco, win five or actually, I don't think he pitched against San Francisco. No, he hasn't. So, he went 5 innings, 8 hits, and 5 runs against the White Sox. An ugly game. 5 innings, 10 hits, and 7 runs against the Rockies. He hasn't put together a quality start in his last 4 efforts, to be honest with you. And I think this could be a game where you have Birdsong that actually comes through here. I know people want to take Gallen because of the name, but he's been struggling too. So the value here just might be with the Giants off of a loss with a pitcher that really needs to bounce back. So I'm going to back the Giants here as well. So, and I actually think this game goes over the posted total. I don't think either of these guys. I think 9 is a generous line. I think you can go to 9.5 even. None of them have been pitching really well. So as far as Kansas City and Seattle are concerned, you have Lorenzen and Hancock on the mound here on a total of 8. Kansas City off back-to-back losses. They've been struggling a little bit, and they've been falling off the wayside. Marlins still up 4 games above 500, coming off a nice 6-2 win yesterday. Who do you like?
Yeah, it's kind of funny. The Royals only have two wins in their last 10. One of them was against the big bad Dodgers. So it's like, it just happens on any given day, as they say. But the Royals, they just don't score runs. Tony George was on last Tuesday. We were talking on the Docs Daily, and obviously that's his team. He knows this team inside and out. And he's just saying, they did win the championship that year by basically the skin of their teeth. But every game was close, one low-scoring games, kind of like the Guardians did last couple of years. It's hard to do that on a year in, year out basis. You have to, at some point, give your pitchers have some run support. They just don't do it. Now, these are 2 average to below average pitchers by the, high 4s, low 5 ERA type guys. But you have to take Seattle minus the 135. I mean, the Royals just don't score runs. And when they score 4, they throw like a ticker tape parade in town. And that's just normal nowadays. You got to score 5, 6 runs every once in a while. They just don't do it. Give me the Mariners minus the 135. I think it's a gift. All right. I don't think you're going to find a gift in this last game. I see we have the White Sox, although they did win a couple games against the struggling Giants at home. Now they're on the road against the big bad Dodgers. Dodgers minus 330. Wow. Total 8.5. Finds us some value in this one.
Yeah, I mean, the White Sox did beat the Giants back-to-back games. And, for a team that's such a massive underdog, they've won 3 of their last 4 games. They've won 4 of their last 7 games. They've won 5 of their last 9 games, all in kind of how you look at it. God, the Giants have to be feeling so bad to lose to this team. And the Dodgers rolling in here, they're playing great. They beat the Rockies, which is what they should have done, and they won all 3 there. They took 2 or 3 from the Royals and so on. I want to do everything I can to try to back the White Sox here if I can, because there's just so much value here. You have a pitcher that hasn't pitched against the Dodgers this year. Whenever really good pitchers on bad teams get an opportunity to face elite teams like the Dodgers, like Smith, they ball out because they want to get the heck out of town. You know what I mean? They're like, I want to get to a winning team. And I like the fact that Smith went 2 innings and 4 hits and 5 runs in his last game. I like the fact that he got rocked by the Cardinals, 4 innings, 6 hits, and 5 runs. So back-to-back horrible starts. What better way to show that you're still around than to pitch phenomenal against the champs, So you have Houston here, 6 innings, 7 hits. And he went 6 innings and 1 run against Houston, 5 innings and no runs against the Tigers. So it's not like he had a similar situation where he was terrible against the Mets, but he was dominant against, he had bad starts against the Mariners and the Mets, and then he dominated Houston. So he hasn't put together 3 straight bad starts all year long. So I like Smith here, and Yamamoto is obviously a great pitcher in his second year, and he comes off of a 5-inning and 1 hit and no run game against the Rockies. But it is a very tough turnaround to face dominate the Rockies and then to face this team. I mean, he got rocked by the Padres, 6 innings, 7 hits, and 3 runs. He got rocked by San Francisco, who lost to the Rockies in 3 games, 4 innings, 6 and 5 runs. I think, he doesn't do well when he gives up no runs either, if you really look at it. He has constant letdowns. And I like, I'm not trying to be a homer here, but I like the White Sox plus the 2.5. No. The White Sox might win this game.
Don't forget, though, that was the whole card. Make sure you go over to docsports.com/free60. If you are a new customer, get a $60 free account to test out our best plays. Also, if you're already an existing user, just go to the grid, get it into the grid, get our Major League Baseball, this is the WNBA guy here. Make sure you get on his WNBA play. I love the CFL action. I've had a great start, 6-2 start. So whatever you like, go over there to the grid and get in on. You can either get a day pass for $30 or you can get a week pass for $99. So make sure you get in on your favorite sport from one of your favorite experts here at Doc Sports. All right, guys, have a great time. Don't forget, check that Premium and Premium Plus. Click the link in the description to get in, and you won't regret it. It's the best value in handicapping today. It's really like a $3,000 value for $50, $49.99 a month if you click and buy at the desktop. All right, guys, have a great day. Thanks again, IC. We'll see you again next time.
See ya.